I just want to do a land acknowledgement. We wish to acknowledge this land on which the University of Toronto operates. For thousands of years, it has been the traditional land of the Huron-Wendat, the Seneca, and most recently the Mississaugas of the Credit River. And today, this meeting place is still home to many Indigenous people from across Turtle Island, and we are grateful to have the opportunity to work on this land. I also just wanted to acknowledge, most of you already know the NSI 123's, our late colleague, Ravindu Lokwithana, and I'm obviously going to an exchange in my academic career or career in general, and I think of my classmates who are with me. Things I remember about our late colleague, he absolutely crushed our structures course. Things I had on my cheat sheet, he left off to just derive on the spot, and he was very enthusiastic. He made some impeccable circuitry in our robotics course, and his passing was a great loss to our community, and our thoughts and prayers will always be with his soul and his family. So, my talk is actually on dragonflies. So, in Christmas of 2015, I was flying from Quebec City to Calgary, and so the plane goes, you take a plane from Quebec City to Montreal first, and I was sitting beside this girl from Université de Sherbrooke, and I asked her what she studied. It said faculty de droit on her shirt, but I asked anyway, and she nicely replied, and she asked, what do I study? And I said, I study dragonflies. In French, she said, toi, le libellule? She didn't believe that I actually studied dragonflies, so she asked me why. And in my head, I thought, why do I study dragonflies? I mean, one of the reasons we're told to study dragonflies and robotic flapping insects is for the cause of artificial pollination, but I don't really think that that's a great idea. I honestly think that we should focus more on bee preservation if we're going to try and tackle the pollination problem. I actually saw this little poster at Pearson Airport in midway through 2015. I'm not advertising for HSBC, but yeah, I just thought, I think nature and technology have to work together in harmony and work off each other as opposed to replacing each other, just something that came to mind. So I was thinking of another answer to give her. So search and surveillance, search and rescue missions, girders, walls, in different places. I've read in a lot of papers that quadcopters, which are the most popular drone nowadays, aren't very good at maneuvering near walls. They often lose their lift, and they also have they're also noisier and are apparently less power efficient in cover. I'll be honest, sometimes I wonder if it's still the best way to tackle that problem, because I think we're really struggling to get flapping robotics to work. And I also didn't think the girl would buy the reason. So then the next reason that came to my mind was flight heritage. Obviously, UTIUS is big on the flapping wing machines since Professor Delorier. But then I thought, if we're going to talk about heritage and we're going to talk about insects and UTIUS, it's got to be bees. I know it has nothing to do with building management. I think Jeff Cook is awesome, but I mean, being an old building, we have our problems. Then the next thing I thought of was swarm robotics. I know Professor Del Terrio, who was our supervisor, he wanted to collect a bunch of robots and use them with pattern-based control and multi-agent control. But I mean, I wondered about that reason, because you're better off working on the control aspect or the manufacturing and aerodynamics aspect. Combining the whole project just seemed unrealistic, and I don't think this law student was going to buy that. So the only thing I could tell her was that I was doing it because I have a charming Italian prof with a lot of money. And she asked to see his picture, and I showed her this, and yeah, she said she'd send him an email. She didn't know that professors don't respond, but that's fine. So this is actually our SketchUp of our robotic dragonfly, designed and fabricated by Peter Sabo, a former PhD student in our lab. So my goal was to understand how to control this thing. So I was assigned the task of coming up with an aerodynamic model in an analytical form. So when you control your states, you need to have some idea about the dynamics of the system, intrinsically, and also in order to design the proper actuator in order to control the system. And in the case of a flapping robot, the actuator is the wings flapping, and so those are also directly related to the aerodynamics. Your actuator and your aerodynamics are basically one and the same. Analytical means that equations are expressions based on the variables and their time derivatives. Where applicable, these variables should include ambient parameters like the viscosity of air, density of air, and geometric parameters such as the wing length, wing chord length, and obviously the degrees of freedom. So that concludes Act 1, and I'm just going to do a quick costume change. In the meantime, think about dragonflies.